Story about a 6-year-old boy in the US state of Texas who's been caught up in a really bitter custody battle between his divorced mother and father, and the fact that his parents further can't agree on which gender their child should be identified as is making the case even more complicated.
You're a boy, right?
No, I'm a girl.
Well, when with his mother, the boy known as James lives as a girl called Luna. Since he expressed an interest in wearing girls' clothes, the mother began referring to him exclusively as her and even enrolled the child in school under a female name. Now, I can tell you RT's host Sophie Shevardnadze speaks direct to James' father, Jeff Young. I'll give you a clip of that next. You watch the full version if you fancy throughout the day on this channel.
I took it very seriously because I'd had some information when I was still living with Ann Georgelis, my ex-wife. She had been putting him into timeouts and saying things like the monsters only eat boys and some odd things like that. So when I heard this, I took it very seriously. He said, "Mommy tells me I'm a girl." And I would ask him, you know, "Do you look like a girl?" And he'd say, "No, but Mommy tells me I'm a girl." I just wanted to verify it, and I sent her a text and said, you know, "Are you actually telling James that he's a girl?" And she's just replied simply yes, and then refused to talk to me about it. You know, he's never presented himself as a girl to me ever. And in fact, with me, he violently rejects any female identity. He won't wear female clothes. He won't even wear boys' brief underwears because he says it's too much like girls' underwear.
Well, the father's long been fighting, apparently, for his son to be treated as a boy. He's now been accused by his ex-wife of abusing their child for not affirming him as transgender and also for cutting his hair short.
The father has engaged in emotionally abusive behavior towards the child, as example only haircutting and other non-affirming actions. Although unclear if this behavior rises to the level of family violence at this time, the father's aggression is becoming more common and more intense.
The temporary orders that I'm under before we go to final trial actually do allow me to address him as James and use male pronouns, but I cannot do that in front of third parties who know him as a girl. So basically, I can't go to his school. I keep him away from any friends he might have at school that know him as a girl. And at my home, he's known as James, and I use male pronouns. What I'm prohibited from doing right now is trying to convince him that he's actually a boy.
He's a boy when he's with you, and he is, what, forced to dress like a girl, or does he dress like a girl by his own will when he's with a mom?
I believe he dresses by his own will when he's with his mother. I just don't think he believes that she'll love him if he's a boy. Look, I consider this to be child abuse and the sexual mutilation of children on an industrial scale. So it makes me feel terrible. I can't believe that a mother would do this to her son.
The bigger backdrop to this, of course, is all coming a specialist debate whether or not children should be allowed to change their gender at such a young age. Sociologist Frank Furedi believes parents shouldn't impose gender choices on their offspring.
I think it's wrong for parents to become preoccupied by gender identity. It's not something that the vast majority of children ever think about very much. It's not something that they experiment with to begin with. I think that the danger today is that we have a very strong political and cultural pressure on the part of parents to be much more relaxed about the boundaries that used to exist between boys and girls. And as the boundaries are questioned, so a lot of parents get confused.